we had the beginning and the end. That's about it.
Okay.
Makes life easier this way. But yeah, you can ask questions about my case, but I'm really curious what you've been up to in the last several years. But let's see, this thing that says loading, setting up your meeting on YouTube, and we're live. Hi, Mohammed from iHOPE. How you been? It's been a while.
Yes, I guess 3 years ago we made like a podcast, but many things changed from 3 years ago to now, especially in the IPCA cases and the IPCA field, and how the countries and the central authorities in the countries are dealing with the IPCA, especially now after the Syrian revolution. Since the Syrian refugees in 1911 until 2019, many of Syrian Vagues went to Europe. Now, many of the Syrian are coming back to Europe, and they are taking their children with them. So now we have a huge, massive cases coming from Europe to the Middle East, especially to Syria. I dealt recently, just in 1 week, with like 5 cases from Europe to Syria. And
Wow.
this is a big number.
So it's reverse migration. Now they're returning back to Syria, and there's complications with the kid situation. So is there
Exactly.
laws in place to help out, or this is chaotic right now because of the laws in place currently?
No, it's very chaotic because, as you know, Syria, like many countries in the Middle East, are not signatory to the Hague. So there's no role to the central authority. There's no central authority in the Middle East. And since any country are not ratifying the Hague Convention yet, it's very, very hard to bring back the children. It's very hard to locate them. It's very hard to connect with them. So yes, now the laws can't be able to help, especially in Syria or in Lebanon or in all the Middle East. As you know, there's many cultural dispute between these two kind of abduction. Yani, the Hague Convention, they they recognize custody and visitation rights. For the
Right.
Middle East, they recognize custody for mother and wilaya for the father. And this is a huge problem. There's no wilaya.
Conflicting.
Sorry.
No, it's conflicting. They conflict against each other.
Yes, so it's very hard to make like a positive achievement in this topic in the Middle East, especially in the litigation. So we are aiming more now on the mediation, but even the mediation, we're talking about different cultures, we're talking about different scope of laws. So it's very hard now to bring back a family or children from the Middle East to Europe or to the USA. And this means that countries need to start to establish some policy maker concerning this issue in the Middle East. And they need to go to the advocacy. They need to go to advocate for policy reform, for laws reform in the Middle East. And they didn't start yet. And they just, especially the Western country, are just
Right.
seeing the problem as a mediation process. So, okay, Middle East, the majority of the countries in the Middle East are not signatory to the Hague Convention. Okay, we just have a mediation like a way to resolve this problem. And you know, with the numbers, mediation can achieve a good end, like between 9 to 12%. So
Yeah.
it's a very crucial problem here in the Middle East.
I'm assuming then, since in the Middle East the majority is the law favors the men, is it fair to say that the men are the ones who are taking the children from Europe and bringing them back to the Middle East, and the mothers are staying in Europe and have no access to the children? Is that fair to say?
I will not define it in this way because,
Okay.
as I told you, it's due to the different cultures here in the Middle East. they divide the rights of a child to custody, to wilaya, and to best interest. So they differentiate here in the Middle East. They differentiate between the right of the mom for the custody. So the mom, she is the custodian, but also we have another definition. It's called wilaya. So wilaya, it's like an authority for a man to precise like the education for the children,
Mm.
the marriage age, you know. So this is the problem in the Middle East. Okay, if you want to see it in a broader perspective, yes, this laws give man many credits due to the wilaya, and this wilaya it's not available in Europe or in any Western countries. They don't even recognize what wilaya is. So yes, in a way or in another, you can say that these laws give man the credit, but it's because of the doctrine, of the Islamic doctrine, who gave this definition, wilaya.
Mhm. I see. I see. Okay, I get the one of the main issues here. Okay, so basically, regardless, it's still men have certain, I guess, decision making of the family of and since the children are underage, they still are the decision makers of what is going to happen with the children.
Yes,
And while in the Western countries, it's more like it has to do, both of them have to come to an agreement
yes,
versus
but
what.
also in the same topic, let me give you the right definition of wilaya in English. It's guardianship. So
Yeah.
custody plus guardianship. Custody for the mother, guardianship for the father. Guardianship on health and guardianship on wealth. You know,
Hmm.
so it's two type of guardianship. So this is the main problem, and this is exactly why all the Arabic countries, or the majority of the Arabic countries, because now Morocco and Tunisia ratified the Hague Convention in 2010 and 2017. So this is the problem, that all the Arabic countries, or the majority of the Arabic countries, are not signatory to the Hague, because the article, the third article in the Hague define the rights for the parents, like custody and visitation, while in the Arabic laws they they differentiate, as I told you, between custody, guardianship, and best interest. So this is the main problem that urge all the majority of the Arabic countries to not sign the Hague Convention.
Understand, understand. And I'm curious, just for our listeners, right? Do you see these cases mostly when it's a somebody from an Arab background who marries and has a children with somebody who's from Western background, or it's both of them being Arab culture?
No, it's look, for the Arab culture, and if you have like uh, an Arabic woman, she knows that she has the custody, but she
Mhm.
can't take big decisions for the kids.
Got it.
So it's not just between a Western woman and an Oriental father. No, they both suffer. The
Right.
Arabic woman, the Middle Eastern woman, and the Western woman, because as I told you, they have custody. They can give love to child. They can raise him. Okay, but they can take the important decision. I will give you an example. A mom, she's the custodian for a child, like he has 9 years old.
Hmm.
She don't have the right to put him in a specific like school. The father need
Right.
to tell her exactly which school he wants that his child belong to, you know.
Right.
But she's the custodian. So the child is living with her mom. She raises him, she's everything, but she can't take like important decision. And this affect
Understood.
Oriental woman and Western woman, not just the Western woman.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that. That makes sense. Now I get it. I get that. And what do you think is prompting the migration back to Syria and these other countries? And actually, that's one of the questions I had that I wrote down is, do you see a reverse migration, people from Europe going back to their home countries, and they're starting to see these issues arise?
Mm. Look, this is a big problem concerning the integration. I
Hmm.
was in La Haye, I guess, 3 months ago. I was in the hotel, so I met the employee of the hotel. She was a Syrian, like 23 years old. So I asked her if she's happy in the Netherlands and everything. She has everything here. She has the liberty. So she told me no. They are very different on our culture. My little sister, she's integrated in the system. She don't accept anything from the father if you want to give her an advice or something. So yes, the majority of them, they saw that they didn't integrate in the society there. So once Syria, uh, the revolution in Syria had ended the last regime, you see now many young fathers are coming back to Syria. So they want to settle, they want to start a fresh start, but they also bring their kids with them. And this is a crucial problem. Yani the kids, like if you have a 7-year-old kid, he born in Netherlands, he he integrated in the system, and suddenly he will see himself like in Aleppo or in Damascus. He can't speak Arabic. He can't be integrated in the society, in the Syrian society. So yes, this lead to a crucial problem.
Uh, yeah, that's like a huge issue. So besides the Hague, is there any other laws or that help with this type of issues at this point in time?
Look, uh, there is diversity of laws. Yani, I will
Mhm.
give you an example like Lebanon.
Okay.
For marriage, for custody, for everything related to family, we have like the personal status. It's not like a civil code. It's not like a civil law for all the people. It's sectarian codes. So if we have like 18 sects in Lebanon, we have 15 laws concerning custody and marriage and all the issues that related to a family. So this is a main problem, is that you have like a Sharia court order.
That's
Also,
right.
we have in parallel a civil court order. So it's up to the lawyer how he can make his case, how he can be like a strategic litigator, when he can use the civil marriage like making in USA, and when he can use the Islamic jurisprudence. So there's no like a unique court. Yani, if
Right.
you want to look to the USA or to the Western countries like Europe, there is a court and central authority. Here in Lebanon, every time, every case, it's different than the other. Yani, I will give you an example. I might go to the Islamic Sharia law in a case, but in another case, I will try to go through the civil court. So we don't have like a unified law.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
this
Wow. So sorry for cutting off. Go on.
And this is not related just in Lebanon, also in Syria, also in Saudi Arabia. So they have the custody of Sharia law and they have civil law. So when someone bring his children or abduct, let us use the useful term, when some father abduct his children to the Saudi Arabia, for example, you can't just go to the civil court and to tell, okay, the custodian is the mother in France. We need to execute a French order. No, it's not this way, because the Sharia law court there believe that they have jurisdiction because the father is from Saudi Arabia, so they have jurisdiction. So this is the conflict of
Conflicting.
the legal jurisdictions. In the countries of the Middle East. And you don't suffer in this from this like in Japan. You don't have like Sharia law court. You don't have like religious courts. This area of the world, the Middle East, many countries of this Middle East are based on the religious court. Of course, everything related to family, not to the debts or the commercial things. It's civil and commercial.
Got it. Okay, this is why it makes it also extremely complicated because it's civil law and Sharia law, and they're both contradicting to some extent with each other. And then you're like, which court do I go to? This one or that one? And which one will adhere international? Okay, wow, this is interesting. And what happens, for example, like in those cases like in Lebanon and Syria that I'm aware of, right? Where in Lebanon, and there's hypothetically speaking, I don't know, right? But somebody's because there's Christians in Lebanon, right?
Yes.
And it's like a very divided government from Islam and slash Christianity there. And so, are there cases? I'm assuming no, but I'm going to ask anyways. Are there cases where somebody had a child with a Christian, but the other parent is from Islamic culture, and then how does that deal with?
It's
It gets
it's very
complicated.
it's very easy. No,
Oh, really? Okay.
there is a Latin proverb, a Latin legal proverb. I guess it's locus actum regius. It's like
Okay.
or the place of the marriage rule the procedures.
Got it.
For
Okay.
example, for example, a Christian woman married in the with a Muslim father in the Sunni court. So all the procedures, all the things related to the marriage, divorce, uprising, custody, alimony, everything is in the Sharia law court.
Got it.
If the father, the Muslim father, or if the a Muslim girl get married with a Christian man at the church, so the jurisdiction will be for the Christian court. So it's not very conflicted. We have
Okay.
law that govern everything concerning this. But the problem start when like a Sunni father married like a American girl. So this American woman will come to Lebanon. She will be surprised that there is many jurisdiction. There is a civil jurisdiction because they got married in the USA. Also, they have like a religious jurisdiction because he is a Muslim. So this is the problem.
Mm. Ooh, I see. I see. Okay, I see where it gets extremely complicated. And even if that, for example, taking this example, that the girl from, let's say, Germany or Netherlands, right? If she files a Hague case, then that's civil, which then would go to the civil court in like example Lebanon. But if the father is Muslim, it's like, well, okay, yeah, then we have a civil law from Netherlands, but this has nothing to do with Sharia law. So it's like we're kind of stuck
Also,
here.
also it's contradiction. If the
Yeah.
father make the first marriage in the Netherlands, so they made a civil marriage in the Netherlands first, the jurisdiction will be for the civil court in Lebanon. So it's easier. But
Mhm.
if the father made like a Islamic marriage, whether in the Netherlands or in Lebanon, before the civil marriage in Netherlands, the jurisdiction will be for the Sharia law court.
Jeez, okay.
Okay, so I will give you an example on cases we won in it. Like we had a couple, a Lebanese married an American woman. They married under the civil law in America. After 2 years, when they come to Lebanon, he wants to maintain culture for his family, so he made another marriage, another Islamic marriage. So in this case, we have an American civil marriage in, I guess, 2017. We have Islamic marriage in Lebanon in 2020. before COVID. On 2023, they had a problem, family problems and all these things. So he abducted the children to Lebanon, and he referred to the Sharia law court.
Mm.
But as the lawyer of the American woman, I objected. We didn't. We objected for the Sharia court, and we just prove that the jurisdiction is for the Lebanese civil court because the civil marriage was before the Islamic marriage in 2 years. So
Ah,
this is what I told you at the beginning.
ah.
There is no like common articles. There's no like unified procedures to bring back children. Every case has
Because
its
you
aspect.
There we go. So, question on that. And sorry, Mohammed, for interrupting. But is there like, for example, civil law is like you were as an example you used earlier, is like commercial law. Like it transgresses borders, right? Goes cross borders. Is there a something similar with Shahida law, where is there like a international um jurisdiction that like, hey, like we reach all borders and you is
No,
it something
definitely
similar?
no. Definitely no. The Sharia jurisdiction is only national, is only domestic.
Okay, because there's several countries that practice, so this is why I
Yes,
was.
even for the civil country, the Sharia law are just related to family, not other things. So if you have any other topic than family, it's all in the civil. Even as in the precedent case, as I was telling you about the American case. Even when we went to the civil court, we didn't find or we didn't apply like a Lebanese civil law because
Got it.
civil law concerning the family. We applied the American civil law in the Lebanese civil court.
I see. Okay. Okay,
Did you
that
understand
kind of makes
the
sense.
point? So we
Yeah.
don't have a unified civil law for citizen here for family. But of course, we have civil law like France. We have almost the same code civil in Lebanon and all and everything else than the family matters.
Got it. Got it. And I'm curious. So, how's the law either way? The civil Shahira law handling when one of the parents, as an example, that we started earlier, was living in the Netherlands, and then he's like, "Well, actually, I don't like it anymore. I want to go back to Syria." Right? Because if the other parent doesn't want to go back, it's like obviously that's where conflict arises. The divorce is like, so what happens? Where does the child stay? Because now it's like it's torn between two countries very with vast distance apart.
When he get back to Syria, all the Syrian law are only applicable. They will not refer to any international laws. They will not refer to the Netherlands law
Wow.
because they assume that because he is holding the Syrian citizenship, they has jurisdiction.
Okay.
It's very clear for them. So
Um,
once you have a Syrian or a Lebanese or a citizenship, you have jurisdiction in Lebanon, and you will not look for the international jurisdiction or the Netherlands jurisdiction, for example, unless if you don't have like a Islamic marriage, So
mhm.
it's like a reality. It's like a common sense. Everyone coming back to country, his country has jurisdiction.
Oh, wow. That makes things difficult for the person who is left behind in the other country then.
It's very hard for her or for him. They don't know the domestic laws. They don't have access to children due that the country are not signatory to the Hague. So there's no central authority. There's no people try to locate the children. There's no way to make a call with the mother if the father wasn't merciful. It's very hard. It's very hard for a Western mom to recognize that, oh, my child is going to Syria, or he is in Syria now. Okay, I have like zero chances to speak with my child or to communicate with my child if the father don't want to. Okay, she can make like a visitation, online visitation, right? She can hire a lawyer. He can try to oblige the father to issue a court order and enforce this court order to let the child speak with the mother, but not to bring back the child to the Netherlands. It's only related to the visitation rights, even it was virtual, even if they are virtual rights. So they might oblige the father to make this call between the child and the mother, but they will never oblige him to bring the child back to the other country.
Understood. Okay. And I'm just to just kind of dive into a little bit more into this. You said some key things before that, but before we get into that was, are they obliged to do visitation physical in person and not just online? And I guess going even further back, when you said earlier, is like the hardest part would be to locate the child. So basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, is if somebody goes to Syria with a child, it's extremely difficult for somebody from the Western world to go say like, okay, I need to find my child in this country. They'll be like, hey, like the dad has a child, you have no rights here. Like, forget about it. It's not going to happen. We're not going to tell where they're located.
Look, the mother has two choices. First, she has, if she hired a lawyer and if he works in a good manner in this laws and in this court, he can issue a virtual visitation right. But also, the mother can come to Syria and she can claim custody in Syria if the child has all the requirements that she has all the requirement to take the custody, but she can't never leave the country with the child. So she can speak with the child virtually when her lawyer can make a lawsuit concerning that, and also she can come to Syria and claim for custody. So she can raise her child in Syria, but she can't
Wow.
bring back the child with her to her country. Also, she can come and exercise the visitation rights in physics, in person. Like she can ask the judge to let her see the child in a hotel like 3 to 4 days, and the judge will take all the measures to protect the child from not kidnapping again. So she has rights in the visitation rights, whether virtually or whether in person. Also, she can claim the custody if she has all the requirement, and she can raise the children in Syria or in the country where the father kidnapped the children in the Middle East, whether in Lebanon or in Syria or in Jordan, but she can't bring them back.
Understood. Understood. So basically, yes, you can see the child physically in person. And if she wants to actually take some sort of custodial parental, she must stay in the country where the father is located. And I guess the question becomes is like, what is what is I don't know if I should even use the visitation slash co-parenting word co-parenting here, but what would it look like hypothetically if this woman were to move from Netherlands to Syria? Like, how often would you get to see the child?
Okay. We are assuming that the mother had the divorce with the father. She can oblige the father to bring a house, like he can rent a house for her, because even if she is the custodian, the fathers had obligation, so she can issue a court order in Syria that allows that the father need to rent a house for the
Mm.
children, for raising the children. But also
Wow.
the court don't give like specific requirement to this house. It might like he can rent a house in a very popular or in a very poor place, with $150 per month. So it will not be a good environment for the mother or for the children. So the court will grant the mother like a court order that oblige the father to pay, but they don't like specify the requirements and all the ambience and all these things.
Correct. Okay, I can see it can be a very dangerous situation for the mother and for the kids if the father is
Exactly.
being hostile.
So the mother, when she will see this happening, she would rather to get back to Syria to her country because she will not move on. Yani she can't continue a life in a bad environment, you know.
Mhm. I understand. What if let's say hypothetically the mother could, she gets a job in Syria, gets a nice apartment or something,
She
and
can.
she
She
can.
can. Yes, she
Okay.
can. If
Okay.
she had, if she can finance herself and take an apartment, she can let the lawyer issue a court order to to locate her apartment in Syria as a, custody place for children. But
Mhm.
but let me tell you where exactly you will face a problem when the mother can't locate exactly where the father is living. So if you can't locate where is the place of the child, you can't locate the court who has jurisdiction, and you can't
Yeah.
hire a lawyer. Mm.
Got it.
Uh, Example in the USA or in some Western country, they have a job like called a private inspector or
Okay.
something.
Private detector.
Yes, private detector. Uh, there's no like this job in the Middle East. So you can't like hire a private detector to locate the child. It's very hard. So I will give you an example. If the Syrian father was in Netherlands and the
Mhm.
mother knows that his place in Syria is in Damascus, and if he saw yeah, if he changed his mind, if and he went to live to Aleppo, so there is like 300 kilo between Damascus, 300 kilo between Damascus and Aleppo.
Yeah.
How can the mom locate his new place? So this is a big problem. While when a country is ratifying the Hague, the role of the central authority in the two country are to starting to locate the children, start to build a conversation between the mother and the children.
Understand. Okay, got it. So yeah, that was going to the other question we asked earlier. Is like the locating the child is the hard part here. If you move to a country like Syria, is like where do you start? And there's no private detectors. There's no centralized authority that know where the children are located. You as a lawyer, what would you start? Hypothetically speaking, and this is for like our audience, if they're in the situation or ever get in the situation, how would they start? How would you suggest for them to start?
I will try to, if I have his full name, I will try to go to the ISF, the Internal Security Forces. I will try to make like it's not a lawsuit, it's like inspection about this man. Uh, they might bring me like seven to eight different persons that holding the same name, and you need to
Yeah.
start searching. It's very hard when you
Wow.
can't locate the place. So I will give you a real example happened with us. After we locate the children and after we win all the cases, the last case was in the High Court in Lebanon. The High Court in Lebanon issued an order and accepted to execute the American court order so we can bring back the children. When we start to execute, we went to his house in Tripoli. We didn't find him. We tried to find him all the place in Lebanon. We didn't find him until like after one year. So
Wow.
after 1 year, we located the children. We executed the Lebanese order, and we bring back the children to the USA. But we spent 1 year. and we recognize his place because he was stealing electricity. So when he was stealing electricity from the state, the officers come and they saw this stealing and they asked him about his name. So we knew then that this is the guy with the children.
Mhm. Had it not been for that, you would have not found the guy.
Sorry?
Had it not been for that, you would have not found him.
No, until now, no. We look. Lebanon is very, very small. We're
Mhm.
talking about 10,000 kilo just. But in Syria, Syria is bigger than Lebanon, like 23 times. So
Yeah,
in
it's huge.
Lebanon, it's easy until now because you can locate, even if it took like much time. But in other countries, in the big countries, you have a big problem to locate the place of children, especially if you have war in this country. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And has that made that difficult with the war? Because I mean, the whole situation over there with I guess, Israel doing some really funny things over there. Um, is that complicating like migration and spilling over into where there's separation of families?
uh, yes, of course, because of war, you will face separation, you will face migration, regardless from where the war, even started from Israel or from Iran or from any place. Uh, every country has a war. They will have much maximum numbers of separation and of immigration and of abduction also.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, right? So I'm curious. So, and this is actually a good question. So, would Syria, we go for here, for example, right? It's Islam is Sharia law and either civil law, right? And same applies for Jordan, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and what other countries in the Middle East?
Qatar,
Okay,
uh,
Qatar.
UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Egypt, I guess, uh, many countries.
Okay, the entire area. Okay. Yeah, I know that your iHOPE has been involved in a lot of conventions trying to make or push forwards basically the rights of children, right? In what areas have you made a lot of progress over the last several years?
As we are operating from Lebanon, the best answer will be that we are making a very good impact in Lebanon. Just 20 days ago, we execute a long workshop to teach 20 lawyers how they can work in this IPCA cases. Since, as I told you, Lebanon don't recognize IPCA as a crime, International Parental Child Abduction. And this workshop was funded by the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon. Also, we're making changes in Jordan and also in Syria. We're starting something in Syria. We're building. We are trying to build a good connection with many law firms in all Syria, so we can help all the left behind mothers, the Western and the American left behind mothers, to to hire the good lawyers there, and so you will have good chances to bring back the children from Syria. We're working on the policy reform. After 1 month, I guess, from now, yes, the 21 of August 2025, we will launch the national campaign for signing the Hague Convention in Lebanon.
Oh
We're
wow.
working with the
Congrats.
Tripoli Bar Association. Yes, we had much to make in Lebanon and in the area. We went also to Qatar in February 2025. We made a workshop for the U.S. consuls in the region, in all the Middle East region and Qatar, uh, on the international parental child abduction. Now we are engaging more people in our platforms No, the Lebanese community now can know exactly what is IBCA. We are trying to make like a policy reform for the laws here. I met many parliament, many congressmen in Lebanon, and they are eager to make a bill draft concerning IBCA. So yes, things are move on very fast in Lebanon and Syria and the whole region. Also, we will have a communication with Egypt on November. We might also make like a advocacy campaign in Cairo in November. We are organized it now.
Ah, in Egypt as well. Is that a huge problem in Egypt? I mean, we have the whole issue in Gaza right now, and all those. I think about all those poor children. Like, what's gonna happen there? Do they have
That's
family members?
sorry.
Like, I think about those all those poor children in Gaza. Like, what's gonna happen there? I mean, do they have family members? Does international law help in here? Does iHOPE helping in any way to try to find their families?
This is a purely politics.
Yeah.
Uh, we work in the IBCA topic. We don't work in the
Oh, I
political
see.
topics. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a massacre there, and we of course we are looking to this massacre was, when you feel that you are in the 2025 and there's no humanity until now. It's very weird. It's very weird when you read and when you look for the international laws, the liberty and the humanity and all the things. And when you look to Gaza, you will see that they are treating Gaza like a zoo. It's very disappointing, but it's political, and I hope don't interfere in political issues in the whether in the Middle East or in the world.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking about those children, right? I don't know if they have parents who are living abroad who probably can't even get in there
No one
or
can get in or get out anymore. It's not just the children, all the
uh,
people. No one can get in or get out because the Egyptian government are closing all the doors, and they have in the other way the Israeli they are bombing the land all the time, so they are stocking. It's not just for children; it's also for
the adults.
the the adults
Yeah.
and.
Yeah. Everybody there in that region.
And
It's
may
unfortunate.
God help them and protect them and end this massacre, this unhuman massacre. I don't know how we can deal with humanity after we saw all these pictures. It's really really embarrassing. It's really disappointing. You don't have, even in English, you don't have the words to or the expression to describe what this inhumanity and this there is many loss there, and if you just see the Arabic even or the international negligence toward this cause, it's very weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I
May God
completely agree
help
with
us.
everything you said. Completely agree with everything you said. It's it's a very difficult topic there because I don't even want to know how international law or local law would work between an Israeli and, let's say, somebody who is non-Israeli for a child abduction. Do you have any
No,
experience in that?
there's no any case like this
Okay.
in the Middle East. No,
Uh, I'm assuming this would be out of jurisdiction of civil law and Shira law would not apply around there.
no,
Who knows
no.
what happened there?
There's no marriage between Israeli and other Arabic. It's not like between Christian and Islam.
Okay.
We in whether in Lebanon or whether in all the Middle East country, it's very normal to see a Muslim guy or a Muslim girl get married from a Christian girl or a Christian man. It's very normal. This is Oriental, and they've been there in the same place since 2000 years. So it's very normal to see this picture. I doubt that in every family in the Middle East they have this mixed marriage. But for
Right.
the Israeli, no, I can tell you, I can assume like it's like 0%.
Yeah, I would assume so too. But I have to ask for our audience if you've encountered a case like that. But it sounds like the answer is no, absolutely not. Not
Yeah,
likely.
no, we don't deal with politics, and yes, we don't take cases like that.
Yeah, it would be a very difficult case, I assume. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, because I saw through your website, you was a lot of conferences, and then Daniil mentioned that the Hague, you guys have been very prominent in making changes in Lebanon, which I thought like, wow, that's awesome. Great work you guys are doing there. And I, I did suspect, I was like, well, there's probably a lot of people going. I suspect there was a lot of people going from Syria to Europe, and perhaps you were having some issues with the custodial children, but I wasn't thinking that there are people leaving Europe going
It's
back
a
to
very
Syria,
good
which sounds
point.
the case, which is
It's a
interesting.
very good point you mentioned now.
Okay.
I will not speak about Syria. I will speak about Lebanon.
Okay.
You know, I guess you're holding the American citizenship, Eric, yeah, as I remember,
I am
or
indeed.
American. Okay. In Lebanon, when two young couple married, if they have enough money, they directly sought to grant the child the American passport.
Hmm.
So they organized that the mother travel to the USA to give birth to
Okay.
the child there. We
Okay.
have 25% from the cases. The mothers, when they went to the USA to give birth to the children, they go
Yeah.
directly to the police and they said that they had many harassment from the father in Lebanon, and he was very violent, and she put a travel ban on him, so he can't come to Lebanon to USA, and she gave birth to the child, and she start a new fresh life in the USA, and the father can't even know anything about his child there. So this is a very huge problem. It's
Wow.
starting. Yes, many of the cases now are similar to this thing. Many left behind Lebanese fathers are contacting me to figure out a solution. Uh, it's very normal to say, because Lebanon is not ratifying the Hague Convention, we can't ask for applying the Hague procedures to bring back children from America to Lebanon. And and and
Wow.
this and this genre of cases was the motif of our campaign to let Lebanon or to urge Lebanon to ratify this convention. Yani, usually, we always see that a Lebanese father abduct a children, his children from the USA or from Europe, or Now it's quite different. We have a lot of cases that Lebanese mothers went to the USA to give birth to their child, and
Yeah.
when they give him birth, and they decide to stay in the USA. So it's not an international uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh, cases, because they are both Lebanese.
Right. I
But
understand. Wow. That sounds like a very planned kidnapping of a child before the child is born. It's like they planned it out.
another legal question: Can you can you define the habitual domicile for for the child? Okay. He, the mother gave the child birth in USA, but he is Lebanese. So can you, in a legal perspective, as a lawyer, I'm talking as a lawyer, we
Yeah. How would you do
we
that?
can we can't exactly, we can't know, or we can't assume 100% what is the country that the child has an habitual domicile in it. Is it Lebanon or USA?
And you bring me to another question I guess I'll ask you as a lawyer, right? But I'm just thinking in my head right now, there's so many people who do exactly that. They're pregnant, 7 months pregnant, they go to the United States, they give birth to the United States, right? It's not just Lebanese, but several people across the world. Now, my question to you as a lawyer is like, so if the Hague was in place, would it apply? Because technically, right, because they want to know where was the residence of the child at the time of the before the time of the adoption, but the child wasn't born. It's like so.
Exactly, exactly. And I had the same question like you, but the European courts, I guess they answered this question. Many court or many European court order, many jurisprudence mentions that the place that the child born in it, it's the habitual domicile. I'm not defending this answer. يعني as a lawyer, I don't with I can't tell you that I am with this answer 100%, but there is many court orders, many European court order, also American court order, define that the habitual domicile of the child is the place that the child born in it.
Wow. Now, I'm asking here as an individual, and hope maybe our audience may have this question later on, but in the United States, I'm aware that it's not mandatory to put the father's name on the birth certificate. So that becomes an issue here if you're trying to get custody. So if I'm not on register as a father, I have an order for no flight, no entry into the country because of domestic violence. So this is basically I'm blocked.
This is what's happening exactly in Lebanon now. Many fathers try to contact me to figure out a solution because the mothers registered the child under her name only without any mentioning to the father. So
Yeah.
the child, he will grow without even knowing who is his father or from which country. If the mother won't tell him that he is from Lebanon, actually, he will not know. It's
Wow.
it's very weird and very hard, and this problem need a very important resolving to it. We need to we need to advocate for this issue because it's very hard to bring back a child to Lebanon or to any other country
Yeah.
because the mom can register the child only on her name. So there, so the father didn't exist, he's never exist.
It's not. Yeah. And I'm just thinking about, and in terms of the United States, and I know the United States, so I can speak on behalf of the United States, is it's first of all, it's a huge country, so good luck finding somebody if they enter the United States and then they go somewhere else. Second, I know that birth certificate records, it's only at the municipal level, which is localized. It's not on the national level, which then makes
Exactly.
things even more difficult. So you need to know exactly which municipal level to go look for the birth certificate. And then they're going to ask you, well, do you have a court order? Are you the lawyer? Well, how do you know this birth certificate record? Are the father? Like, how it shows your name? So it's going to be extremely difficult for you to even get that information without knowing precisely by the time you get there.
Exactly. And because of that, they hire a private investigator. So
And that's difficult. What if, like, let's say, like, listen, I went to New York, but she actually went to Florida.
yeah. So the father will not see his child again.
What do you, as a lawyer, what would you propose for this to happen? How can somebody protect themselves in this situation? Because see, like somebody like me, right, who wants to be a father. I mean, again, I am a dad, but I would like to have more kids. And now every time I think about a relationship as such, I'm like, well, this is tricky these days. Things are quite tricky as a man. And it sounds like in the West, at least, I'm not sure in the Middle East. I cannot speak about the Middle East, but I would say in the West, it's like as a father, you're treated as equivalent as trash. Like they don't really care about you.
You have the experience, Enrique, so you are the one who can answer this question because you experienced this, and I can understand this feeling. But yes, it's very crucial. It's very crucial for a father, so to feel that he's left behind and he has no idea where is his child, how is growing. It's very hard, I know, but emotionally, you are the one that can answer this question, since I know your case, and I know what you've been in, and what you faced. So I guess a lawyer
Oh,
can't answer this question more than individual.
right, right. I mean, I'm thinking from the legal perspective, what do you think
Okay.
we should be looking at the laws in terms of change?
Okay, from a legal perspective, he need to go with the mother when she want to give birth in America. He can't leave her, because when he leave her, if she decide to not back again, she will not back again.
I agree. Okay, I see. So basically, you must be there. You must be at the birth. You must register yourself as a father. As those are the things that you must do.
Look, I know a case uh, from Lebanon. I was very happy to know 2 weeks ago from the father that he was able to bring back his child to Lebanon. He went to the
So,
American court. He issued a Lebanese court order that he is the sole custodian, and that he can exercise the custody in Lebanon. He takes this Lebanese court order to the USA, and he issued a execution court order from USA to apply the Lebanese court order, and he succeeded in this. I was very
wow.
happy for him, but even he succeeded. But this, this like 1 to 2% from the cases. It's
Yeah.
very, very, very hard to bring a child back from USA, especially when he was born in the USA. So yes, I was happy for him. I asked him what he did, and he told me that he issued a Lebanese court order, and he tried to execute this Lebanese court order in the U.S. Courts, and he succeeded.
Okay,
But
so
he had
that's
the will.
yeah.
He was a fighter. He was a fighter like almost 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was a child born in the Lebanon or was a child born in the United States?
Yes, exactly. It's a very good question. The child was born in Lebanon, and they
Okay.
divorced in Lebanon, and they divorced in Lebanon. The mother convinced the father that she will go to see her brother in UAE, in Dubai.
Hmm.
She took the child to Dubai, and after that she just vanished. Yes, this is a very good question. Yes, because I believe if the child was born in America, in the USA,
Hmm.
his chances are like zero.
Yeah. Yeah, very likely. Very likely. And I guess in terms from the legal's perspective, so it looks like the law needs to be ratified quite completely in order to account for these international or how mobile people are these days and to move around with children and how it affects parents and children. So
Sorry, Eric, I can't get it because your voice is like stopped or something.
it,
Hello?
what I was saying is it looks like with the ability of individuals to move easily from country to country has brought a lot of problems in trying to keep a family together even after divorce, right? Or allows for one parent to take the child wherever they want if they don't want to give access to that other parent. And you know, I know I've learned about the Hague because of my situation, and you're a professional in this area. Where is it? Is the Hague enough? Is the Hague Convention enough?
Look, for my perspective, The Hague need to take the visitation rights into consideration, because they don't they don't give the guarantee for visitation rights, first of all. And the second problem of Hague is the execution. I will give you an example. Japan, she's ratifying the Hague, but also she has more than 5,000 cases concerning abduction. So what is the importance of ratifying Hague without executed it. So they need to put serious measure to execute, especially in the countries that ratifying the Hague.
That's actually very valid point because you're right. Japan is part of the Hague, but there's go ahead, good luck executing that in this country. It's unlikely. And they're going to say, well, international law is one thing, but national law is other, and they don't comply with each other. So it's like, so why did you become a signatory of the Hague then?
Also in India, you have more like, I guess the last statistics was they had more like 70,000 cases, IPCA cases, without executing. I guess I read something like this in a report. I will try to remember the report and send it to you. But yeah, يعني, what are the benefits of ratifying the Hague without executing? It's the same when a country didn't ratify the Hague. So, you
Exactly.
know, the only addition is the central authority. So yes, you have a central authority in Japan, so you can contact the central authority. They can locate the child. They can organize some calls between you and the child. Yeah, but on the real ground, you can't execute, and you can't execute the Hague Convention, so you can't bring back your child home.
Right. And that's so I guess going back to the question, is the Hague even useful? Does it have any teeth? Is that a good start? Should the whole thing be ratified completely?
Uh,
Because technically,
yes.
if when countries sign the Hague,
Look,
there's
the
supposed to be
last,
sanctions
let,
if you don't
let me
follow
tell
it.
you, you know the process of the Hague, every 5 years, the HCCH make a big conference and workshops to make sure how the Hague is executing in all the world. This time, this the at September 2024, the Malta process held in Malta.
Hmm.
We participate in it as iHOPE. This is the first time that a Middle Eastern NGO participated in such a conference, a big conference like the ACCH.
Hmm.
This time they were focusing on the Islamic country. It's like an invitation for Islamic country to ratify Hague and to sign Hague, but they
Hmm.
didn't speaks about the execution of the legal procedures derived from the Hague Convention in the signatory countries like Japan or India. So this process, need a big campaign in the SCCH to open the doors, the legal doors about the ideas that why the signatory countries are not executing the procedures in a good manner.
Yeah. It's like putting lipstick on a pig and trying to hide the pig is like it's still a pig. It's like what are you doing? Huh.
Look, the main problem until now, you had find my parent, and many NGOs, and we know also many NGOs. The big problem is that these NGOs like are not funded from the European or the American communities, because they didn't recognize until now the massive importance of this NGOs and the massive importance of advocacy in this topic. So this is also a huge problem. Yani not just if you want to see that such problems are resolved, you need to start resolving yourself. So you need to launch campaign, you need to make education, you need to raise awareness for the communities. Here in the Middle East, as I told you, they didn't even recognize IPCA as a crime. So how they will recognize it as a crime if we don't make raising awareness in the Middle East? So this sector need to be funded. This sector need to be fully funded, so you can build mediation centers, you can build prevention centers for not allowing the abduction. You can go invest in the legal perspective for the abduction, the bill drafts in the words. You can invest in the advocacy campaign, policymaker. You have many fields to invest in this sector. And until now, it's very sad to say that I didn't find that the European government or the USA are very interested in this topic. Yani, if you want to locate the funds, you will see all the funds are going to the equality, gender, human rights, some development, but nothing for IPCA, nothing for child protection. This is the main child protection for me. And this is a crucial problem. We have a duty as NGOs, as me and you and all our partner and all our colleagues. We have a massive duty to raise the voice. If you want to resolve IPCA cases, you need to fund the NGOs. You need to fund the countries that are not ratifying the Hague yet because their community know nothing about IPCA.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And one thing that I noticed a lot is, as you know now, I'm living in Japan, right? But before that, I was living in Central America, and I have not been living in the United States for the last 4 years. And what I can tell you is that I see a lot of foreigners who are moving across the world trying to find people to marry, start a family. And when I see that, that's quite scaring me because you talk about the Hague, is it enforceable? How's it applied? If statistically speaking, 50%, okay, if 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and a lot of people going abroad to have relationships and start a family, you start to look at is this going to right now? It's a micro issue, but as things start growing, people in the West, you see people in Europe, people in the United States are not having children, and these men want to have children. They go outside the US to have children. It's this is going to create a huge issue. We're talking in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Exactly. And because of that, you need to raise awareness in these topics. Exactly. You just see how massive are the problem, and because of that, we need to make this raise awareness in the communities. We need to give them guarantee that they will not lose their children.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. In closing, Mohammed, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to tell the audience where they can find you, more information about yourself, your organization, iHOPE?
Thank you very much for hosting me today. They can follow us at iHOPE.world, www.ihope.world. Also, our platform in LinkedIn, we're publishing every week 2 to 3 articles concerning IPCA in the countries. Now we are planning to work to publish every 1 month. We will publish everything relating to IPCA in such countries. We will start with the Saudi Arabia, then we will go to Kuwait, then we will go to Qatar to finish all the Arabic countries that does not ratifying the Hague yet. Also, I'm happy for making this podcast, Enrique. You always find my parent, always raise the voice. And this is what is much needed. We need NGOs like you to raise the voice, to advocate properly for this topic, because this topic is growing day after day after day. You can tell from your family, from your friends. Now the international marriages are very normal. You will see that your friend the majority of your friends are not now having marriage with American. They having marriage with European, with Indonesian, you know. So this problem will grow day by day. And if we didn't collect all our efforts in this field, if the countries are not ready to fund these NGOs, to start all this campaigning and all this lobbying against this crime, we will had a much worse situation than even now. Thank you very much, Ricky, for this podcast, and looking forward to see you and to collaborate between iHOPE and find my parent in different topics in this field.